Hey, welcome to Connecting the Dots with Cyril. Today's show is going to be about a topic that's been coming up a lot lately, which is about what to expect when the coronavirus is over. And so they was asking Dr. Fauci today about when will we get back to normal? And Dr. Fauci laughed because he was like, normal? What do you mean normal? Like before the coronavirus ever came. And he said, so if you're looking for that, that will never happen. Right? That part is gone. The old wave that we did, going to the movies, 100,000 people at a game, all of those things that we did will probably not come back. And I was thinking about that because I'm not really laughing, but just thinking because I connect the dots. And I've been teaching that class, the new normal in addictions for about 10 years now. And what I tell people in addictions, I said, so there was a time that you didn't use. And then you started using. And then you started liking using. And now using has become a problem. And you had to stop. And they were like, yeah, so now that I stopped, you want to go back to before you ever used. And so on my bell-shaped curve, because y'all seen me do the bell-shaped curve, so let me show you the bell-shaped curve again. So here's the bell-shaped curve, right? Bam, bell-shaped curve. So as we go up the bell-shaped curve with the coronavirus, what happens is right here becomes a new normal, right? And the new normal is all of the things that we have to do as humans. So we'll never go back to like before the coronavirus. Just like the addict will never go back to be what he was before he got addicted. The alcoholic will never go back to be the person that they was before they took the first drink and became an alcoholic. Because you can never go back to a time that's already gone. Already gone. Connect the dots. So the new normal is what we're going to be living in. We won't be living in the old normal. We won't be living in 40,000, 30,000 people at a stadium. We won't be living in 100,000 people at a NASCAR rally. We won't be living, because 9 times out of 10, what Dr. Fauci was trying to tell you is the coronavirus may come back as a seasonal virus and kill 10,000, 20,000 people in each country every year. See, that's a whole game changer, man. That's connecting the dots. That's a new normal. So the normal of us going to the movie theater and sitting 10 feet apart without gloves and a mask, that might be our new normal in America for the foreseeable future. The new normal, the way we're going to have to adapt and overcome to survive. So those of you who are waiting for, I guess, to make America great again, people, y'all just got dumped on, because this will never be that America again. It will never exist again in that form. It will never be that way again, where we can be that crowded, that close, that interconnected after the coronavirus. Because it's altered us. It's altered a lot of things. And it not only altered our economic standpoint, because businesses are never going to be the same, right? Actually, governments are never going to be the same. Nothing. The way we shop, the way we interact, the way that we even on the spiritual level, we're going to have to be a little bit more spiritual. So there's been a seismic shift in everything that makes us Americans, right? The freedoms that we had, the freedoms that we exhibited, the freedoms that made us who we are, have been altered, changed forever. But that's okay. So I can't have what I once had. I can't be what I once was. Maybe I can become something better. You know, maybe what's in store for us is something better, right? I'll be a better person. I'll be a better businessman. I'll be a better believer of God. I'll be a better caretaker of my planet. I'll be a better person all the way around. Can't go back. Because you can't undo. So I tell people all the time, the craziest thing I've heard was you can't unring a bell, right? Once the bell's been rung, you can silence it. You can put your hand on it. You can silence it and stop it from ringing further, but you can't take back the ring when you first hit it. So we can never go back to what was before the coronavirus, right? COVID-19. And when I talk to people, I say, so COVID-19, that's something to you, COVID-19. That means there was 18 other variations of this, right? And we know that because when we look on the Lysol can, it talks about the coronavirus. And so there's always been a coronavirus around. This is just the most lethal version of it, right? And what this one did is it changed the world. And so if the world changed and the world stopped and the world ceased to exist as it did, how do you go back? You know, how do you restart it? Right? And so I was listening again. Let's connect some dots. I was listening again. They were saying in Wuhan, they haven't had a death in a while, so they're ready to reduce their restrictions, and they're letting the trains go again, and they're letting people travel again. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. They said it's only been a couple of days since their last death and their last case, and they're already ready to reopen the country. And when they reopen the country, let me help you out. Let me help you out. Let me put the scientist hat on. No. Let's not put the scientist hat on, America. Let's put a hat on that my mother told me about a long time ago. It's called the common sense hat. Let's put a common sense hat on. They haven't experienced a new case in 4 or 5 days. And so they are ready to open the trains up, let people begin to move back and forth through the country again. And there is not a cure. Oh, stop. No, I'm not laughing. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing. I'm trying to hear where this makes sense. So let's connect some dots. So Wuhan hasn't had a case in about 5 days. They said nobody's died. So there's no cure. They don't have antibodies that really test everything. So they're going to reopen the country up to not get reinfected, but to start the whole process up again of passing COVID along, and more deaths and more destruction. And they can't even tell you why. And so listen what I'm telling you, Mark. Listen what I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. I was listening on the news, and today, I was listening on the news today. No, I'm sorry, yesterday. I was listening on the news yesterday, and Governor Cuomo was talking about, it looks like we're flattening out, and it looks like we got a hand on this thing, and we're flattening it out. Bam! Then the day they come out and say 804 people died Monday. In one day. But you were just saying it looked like the curve had flattened. Do you understand how dangerous this is? To be trying to get back to a state of normal that will never exist again? See, everybody want to get back to normal. Everybody want to hurry up and get back to work and get back to the life that they once had and get back to... Listen, there has been a seismic shift on the planet. Seismic shift, game changer. There is no back. We got to figure out how to get forward. We got to figure out how to live in a new normal. how to live in the what is now, and what is going to be forever, to the next seismic shift. So rushing to get back to what? We don't have a cure. And in America, we're barely testing, so that madness makes no sense. And we want to hurry up and get the football game started. We want to hurry up and get the baseball game started. We want to hurry up and do what? Make some money. Connect some dots, man. You ain't got to be a scientist in this thing. All you got to have is what's called common sense. Learn and live in the new normal. The new normal. We don't know what the new normal looks like yet because we ain't got out of the what? The pandemic. We still in the pandemic worldwide, but we got people trying to get to the old normal. And it makes no sense. And nobody's talking about it. Everybody talking about let's hurry up and get back to work. Let's hurry up and get back started. Let's hurry up and touch. Let's hurry up but no, man, first we got to figure out how to get out the pandemic first. Develop some vaccines and some cures so that we can start touching people without wearing gloves. Because I don't know about you, but there's a silent killer in the world, and don't nobody know who got it until it reveals itself in 14 days. I don't know about you. I want every minute of this life that I can get, right? And I can't afford to get lulled into a false sense of security trying to get back to something that won't exist anymore. So what we're looking at is a new normal. That's what Fauci said. Dr. Fauci said today. He said the new normal. You know, Corona may come back every year as a common cold or a virus and kill 10, 12,000 people in each country. We don't know. But we know it ain't never going to go back to what it was. The science bears that out. Common sense bears it out. And rushing to open up a country when you haven't even figured out how to work on the pandemic. Let me take my hat off. See, this is my copping hat. I'm a copping eagle, man. Let me take my hat off. It's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We got to figure out how to make money again. We got to figure out how to make money again in a safe way that doesn't harm anybody else. That's a new way of thinking. Wall Street is in for a rude awakening, right? Because guess what? What you going to be trading? Let me ask you a question. If everybody's sick and dying, if a third of the world becomes sick and dying, what are you selling? What's your product? Where you going to make money at? What you going to make money with? Listen, we got to get out the pandemic, man. We ain't out no pandemic. Wuhan is crazy. To open up the country and start flying again, and start running trains again, and start a week. No one's died in a week, so we're over it. The problem with mankind is it doesn't respect science. The problem with mankind is it doesn't respect nature. The problem with mankind is it doesn't respect spiritual things. It doesn't. It lives on one overwhelming desire: to make money. And the craziest thing is, 99% of the countries, 99% of the citizens of any country don't make any money. Only 1% will. Are you willing to die so that you can restart something that won't be again in the same fashion? We won't buy clothes the same way. We won't shop the same way. We won't dine the same way. We can't. The world changed. And if you know anything, because I'm an old soldier, head boy, old soldier. Joined the army when we was going to Iran to get the hostages back. That's how long ago I joined the army. Right? And the whole motto was what? Adapt and overcome. And he who can adapt can overcome. Right? So if we can't adapt to what just happened and learn a way to overcome what just happened, we're doomed to be in the same pandemic. Hold on. Same pandemic. Same, not new, same pandemic. Over and over and over and over again. But we got a way to get out of it. But it sure ain't to hurry up and get some money made. We need a cure. And if not a cure, we need a vaccine. Right? So that we can begin to what? Function in the new normal. Right? We can't make America great again. We got to make America great now. Right? We can't do anything again because again is over with. We got to learn right now, today, how to stay alive first, long enough to get the cure, how to stay alive first, long enough to get the vaccine, so that then, and only then, will we learn how to work, live, function in the world that's changed. Wow, connect the dots with Cyril. That's all I do, man. That's all I do. And I don't do doom and gloom. I do reality checks. You know, let's have a reality check, America. Let's have a reality check, America. Let's look at this thing for what it is. And stop rushing to get to something that won't ever, ever, ever be again. We're in a new normal. And the problem is, we ain't even in it yet. We still in the what? Beginning stages of it. Because we're still in a pandemic. So we ain't even out of the rush yet. So how are we going to rush to a new normal when we ain't fixed what caused the seismic shift? Come on, America, let's connect the dots. Right? Let's do something smart. Let's slow it down. Let's flatten the curve. Let's look at this before we rush to resurface the disease and it gets stronger as it mutates, and then we're in a whole world of trouble. So yeah, anybody who looking to go back, who looking to start off wherever it was, so on the day the earth stood still, on the day the earth stood still, was the day that we started a new normal. And we're not there yet, fellas. We're not there yet, people. We're still in the pandemic. We're still fighting to live. Right? We're still fighting an invisible disease, an invisible virus. So at this stage of the game, we're still fighting to live. We ain't even got to the new normal. We still in the triage of this thing. We still in the what is it, how can we stop it, and how can we get over it. That's what we are. We're nowhere near how do we rebuild and start all over again. We're not there yet, people. We might not be, listen, we might not be there for 6 months, 9 months, a year. Come on, man, the world stopped. The world stood still. And we got to readjust ourselves to what the new thing is going to be. And we ain't there yet. Hey, connecting the dots with Cyril. That's all I do. Connect dots. Look for the new normal, right? Look for the new normal. Accept the new normal. It ain't there yet. We ain't got to it yet. We still fighting to survive. Hey, connecting the dots with Cyril.